Welcome in to DC On Screen, a podcast about the DC Universe properties being brought to film and television. I'm your host, David C. Robertson, and this is my plucky Speedy, Jason.
Hello. I enjoy being plucky.
I know you do. I love you for that, buddy.
Oh, thank you.
All right, so...
The candidate.
Alrighty, yeah.
Where to begin?
By the way, if you haven't seen 402 of Arrow, I almost said Gotham, of Arrow, just go watch it, because we're about to spoil it. We're about to just talk about it all over the place. Yeah. So just go do that. You have been warned.
A lot deep right in those spoilers.
So, right out of the gate, man, the whole team fighting Ghost in tandem. Those were some badass shots.
Looked great.
It was a badass scene.
He shoots the little thread line or the zip line for Canary. Man, that was good stuff.
Yeah,
they look coordinated as all hell. Diggle always looks like a badass in the field,
and they do. They've made a concerted effort to make Black Canary look like a badass now. So yeah, I'm down. Yes,
and she does. Her action
please.
scenes have looked like progressively better, and we've spent a lot of time talking about how bad they were, and for anyone who gives a half a damn about our opinion on it, we feel like they're getting better. There you go.
Yeah.
Ooh, and into that scene, did you like the tease? Well, Diggle needs a code name, and Felicity asking for a code name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know.
I did. I like that.
I don't know what it'll end up being. Oracle would actually make a lot of fucking sense if they wanted to.
They better not.
Why?
They better
Isn't
not.
she essentially Oracle?
She is, but that's like calling
hallowed ground
Kristen
for
Kringle
you?
Harley Quinn,
right?
or something.
Hey,
no, yeah, that's hallowed ground. You don't know.
I could dig it. And come on, man. I know it's hallowed ground, but it's Felicity.
I don't care. I don't care who it is.
It's Felicity.
I don't care.
I think I've covered that. She can do whatever the hell she wants.
She's not Barbara Gordon.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get me started on this.
I know. But you look at the trailers for the next episode, she's firing a freaking AK. I mean, come on, man. Pretty happy.
Yeah. Call her Shotzi. I don't care. Just don't call her Oracle.
I would be much...
Spray and pray. I don't care.
Right.
Just don't call her Oracle.
Right. And yeah, her method does look spray and pray. We'll probably get to that in about a week.
Yeah. And, okay, so during this fight scene, I know what's coming. Because, Speedy's, killing people or hitting people with arrows and enjoying the shit out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, they did. They did come to a head this episode. I was really pleased with how it came to a head as well.
Yeah.
Oliver and Speedy just kind of fighting it out, and
right.
Oliver just telling her okay, you were using.
She just breaks that guy's arm, and the guy she's interrogating.
Oh,
she just snaps I think she probably dislocated the shoulder, if I was guessing. And he just tells her, go the hell home.
Yeah. And then when they have this demonstrating fight or whatever, and he actively attacking
does an impromptu demo on her.
He's just taking her down and being lecturing her, screaming you were using techniques to cripple.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then uses this is my favorite part, uses the technique she was supposed to have used to restrain rather than cripple at the end of it. Mm-hmm. Dude, it's a masterclass. He's a bad boy. There's a reason. Diggle's a big man, and I think the one person he doesn't want to fight is Oliver Queen. They've kept true to that Oliver's the best fighter out of the lot.
Look, man, there is a reason that Diggle does not want Oliver on that team, but has effectively tucked tail and let him.
Right. Don't be wrong. He's kept face.
He's kept face, but if Diggle actually, if he had thought for just a second that he actually had a fighting chance against Oliver,
I don't know. He
probably would have already kicked him off the team.
Well, maybe. But I also choose to think that Oliver is at least, as angry and petty as he's being at the moment, is magnanimous enough to know that they need the help of a good man.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's two. By the way, so this episode has Jerry Ryan running for mayor, there's old family friend, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Even her daughter admits this is crazy. And sure enough, because everyone who no one's running for mayor. No one wants to die.
Right.
They've just hung that lantern and let it shine brightly.
Right. And, that's the Green Lantern they were mentioning. That's what the producers were talking about.
So yeah,
seems so clear now.
she gets attacked at her little fundraising rally or whatever, her little announcement. And Oliver goes to take down the dude, and she goes, Oliver, how did you... He's like, self-defense classes. And jumps off the railing. That shit cracked me up.
I wanted it to be continued, too. Like, how did you... Self-defense classes. But you just taught... Lots of self-defense classes.
Right.
Like, a whole lot of them.
Oh, yeah, here's something I wanted to address. Quentin is like, you say you're going to be different this time. How? And I'm like, dude, I've been watching the fight scenes. I don't think he's been different at all. I don't know what the hell Oliver's talking about.
Speaking of not being different, all right, in the show right now, Oliver's not killing people. That's what we're going with. Dude, those arrows look like they're killing people.
They do.
They fucking look like he's shooting people. Now, I mean, I've been happy to deal with, like, it looks like Diggle's shooting people, but I've been happy to assume that's just a trank gun. Have they said?
I don't think they have.
Are we just supposed to assume that he's not? Because that's the other thing is, like, are they actually using trank gun? Because, all right, trank gun I can deal with. Those exist. I don't think there's such a thing as, like, trank arrowheads. I mean, if there is, I guess Team Queen could come up with it. But they haven't said anything like that. So...
No. Yeah, those are arrows. Those are proper arrows as far as I know.
Right. So we're just assuming they're non-lethal and that they're not killing people. They don't seem to feel bad about it. So apparently in their heads, once you've signed on to be a henchman, you're no longer a human. You're like a subcategory of human that it's okay to kill.
Yeah, sure.
Well, that may actually be true about henchmen in general, but...
Well, okay. They might actually be killing ghosts. Because as has been established, if the ghosts get captured, they just bite a cyanide capsule and
yeah, so you might as well kill them, I guess, since they're going to kill themselves anyway.
Yeah.
Even if we give them that out, that's a lot of canon that we're putting together. How many times you called me on that?
That is a lot of canon. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that's the case. I mean, they could just be incapacitating them. I don't really know.
I keep assuming they're trank guns and somehow trank arrows?
Trank arrows?
Yeah.
Well, no, I just assume that,
sounds like
Oliver's making sure to, like, hit them in a certain place or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's like the two guys right before he disables the bomb. In particular, I was watching them, and it's kind of like above the left shoulder. It's kind of like above the heart, which would be fine as a place to disable them. But those guys go down. Like you don't get shot in the shoulder and go. One episode ago, Lance got shot in the shoulder. It was a glazing shot, but that's not how it works.
Okay,
you don't just knock out. You don't pass out.
Right now, if I shot you in the shoulder with an arrow, your ass would fall.
I would fall, but I'd be screaming, going, "Oh, fuck, you shot me in the shoulder. What the fuck?"
Well, you can't hear those guys scream because of all the gunfire.
I'd be like writhing and moving, specifically moving. They just fall. They just go right to sleep.
They might have gone into shock. I don't know. I don't care. I want Oliver to kill anyway.
I do. I want him to be a bit executionary, but I kind of do. This has been bothering me, though. I want this addressed. What is happening to those arrows and those henchmen?
It's incapacitating. It's a flesh wound. Knocks them out. Whatever. Or maybe, I mean, it's perfectly within reason, and I think they have talked about it, to have, some sort of knockout shit on the arrows.
Yeah.
That makes them, like, once you do a flesh wound, it just puts them to sleep. There's a sedative on the arrow.
Well,
I'm pretty sure they have talked about that.
See, that part's fine. I just... Would it be too much to ask for, like, one shot of a little terrarium back at the office of some really colorful frogs? First of all, it'll look great. It's a terrarium of colorful frogs. Frogs.
All right, well.
Eventually, I made it through that sentence.
Please stand by as Jason has his stroke.
We'll be right back with your regular schedule.
Jason's having a stroke.
I'm back. Whatever's left of me's back.
Yeah. Sorry, Jason had to take a moment to clutch his heart and grab for pills.
But it's okay. Now that I've gone through that phase, you can shoot me in the shoulder and I'll be fine.
Right. Yeah, that's how that works.
I also may have a list now.
Actually, going back to Speedy, basically interrogating the dude. I wrote down Speedy using bat tactics.
Did you write down bat tactic next to it?
No. Just bat tactics.
Bat tactics. That's how we, like, playing the Arkham games. That's pretty much how you deal with the people that need interrogating.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I'm kind of digging Anarky.
I wasn't at first, and by the end he was growing on me a little bit. Of course, that was before he became a ball of flames.
Right. But you know...
he may have the coolest weapon I think I've seen on the show.
What was that? The cattle prod?
It's a cattle prod that is apparently good enough that he can use it as a kind of a baton, but it also breaks apart the way Nightwing's weapon does.
Yeah, that's what it made me think of.
It's Nightwing's weapon with a fucking cattle prod on the end of it. That sounds great, dude.
Yeah, I mean, well...
Actually, his
look at the Arkham...
His did too, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I was
Nice.
about to say, if you look at the Arkham games,
All right, roughly what we've discovered is that I like that weapon a lot.
What are they called? Eskrima sticks?
Eskrima sticks, yes. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, so, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
No, he was starting to get fun. I mean, he actually did he took out Oliver Queen, man. Hand to hand.
Yeah, and just because he got set on fire, doesn't mean anything.
He's back. Fine. I know he'll be back. He fucked up some EMTs.
Yeah, I love that he pulled a tooth out of one of the ghosts, man.
Yes,
I love that.
That was the part where you start
like,
kind of realizing, wait a second, no, he's going to be scary. Because that was the deal. You couldn't actually corner, like even Team Arrow hasn't been able to corner a ghost. Team Green Arrow, I guess now? But they haven't been able to corner a ghost and stop him from... They probably weren't willing to go to the depths that somebody like Anarky was.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I loved Anarky and Damien Darhk's conversation.
Mm-hmm.
All you represent is Anarky. You made a mess. Clean it up.
Mm-hmm.
And like Anarky goes to like stop Damien Darhk, and he's like, "You realize your hand is on me."
Right. I wrote a note after that scene. It is dark equals scary equals done.
Uh-huh.
That's all I felt I needed to remember after that scene. I am loving that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Best villain they've had so far by a very
fun.
long shot.
Damien Darhk is blowing it away, man. Neil McDonough, and as soon as he was cast, I was like, oh man.
Yes.
I mean, well, you guys know. I said it on the cast.
Right.
But I was just like, yes.
But to recap, Dave was excited.
Right. I'm pretty sure when I actually read the news, and I know this didn't make it to air, when I actually read the news, I just emitted like this, like I inhaled sharply and made this like very high pitched, high frequency squeal.
Mm-hmm.
Dogs were barking in the neighborhood.
I've heard that squeal.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that.
I know you have.
That's actually when you saw the first picture of Batfleck next to the Batmobile, with the one that released like 2 years ago. I believe you made that sound.
I did, and made that sound the entire time I was changing my desktop background to that image.
Right. I think it was the same sound you made when you realized who Peter Capaldi was.
Yes.
You just remembering that, savoring the moment.
Yep. So anyway, so we've got, as we addressed last episode, Quentin is in league with Damien Darhk, and this episode he says, I'm out, I'm all the way out, but no, Laurel's in danger, and I kind of love that Damien corrected him on his language.
That was good. Corrected him on the language, and
yeah,
he's scary just because he's impervious to anything. I mean, guy comes in yelling, he's already scribbling down the note of where he is. It just he runs his own agenda, period. He does not bow or kowtow or even really pay attention to anyone else's. That they're just players in his game and they don't know it yet. And that makes him scary.
Yeah. And I just say that I kind of want to be like Damien Darhk.
Everyone wants that kind of confidence. But it comes.
I mean, I don't want to have to do the thing where like I pray to a little weird rock, but
sure. Although
that part's weird.
Well, yeah, and you got to cut yourself.
Me.
But I think if
I'm
I
okay with that part.
I think I would pray to a weird rock and cut myself if I got to control primordial something or others, whatever the hell it was he was doing.
Nah, man.
1 sec.
I want no part of that crazy shit.
Oh,
all right. So,
I wanted to congratulate the showrunners on something.
Oh, sure.
They made it much further than I thought they would.
Mm-hmm.
They made it 1.5 whole episodes before someone got kidnapped.
Right. But it wasn't anyone that we cared about who got kidnapped. So I still say their record is they just said Felicity.
No, they said Felicity,
would not be
but
kidnapped.
I just 1.5 episodes, man. You weren't as I don't know. I actively sighed when I realized that's what they were about to do.
I didn't. Because I knew that something was going to have to get Jerry Ryan out of the race, and I knew it was going to be her daughter. Otherwise, they would just have had Jerry Ryan sitting there with the queens. And well, Oliver was going to have to run for mayor at some point, right?
Well, yeah. Dude, as soon as he said that, if there was an Ollie for mayor shirt, I would have bought it right then. If they had, if there was a commercial afterward that had a little QCR or whatever those things are that you could just order it with, I would have done it. I would be wearing the Ollie for mayor shirt right now.
I know you would, buddy. I know you would.
I'd have bought you one, don't worry. You'd have one too. Yeah, as soon as Jerry Ryan...
I'd have the shirt that said Barry for Secretary of Awesome.
I want that one too, actually. I realized something. As soon as Jerry Ryan? As soon as...
Jerry Ryan. Just call her 7 of 9.
Right. As soon as she said she wanted to... she talked about how Moira was gone, so someone needed to kind of replace her. And as soon as she said that, I realized I don't want her back even nominally. I don't want even her role in the show to ever be filled again. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm completely fucking done.
I don't want a meme of her character. I don't want I don't want to sense her spirit animal in the room.
You don't want a Mara Patronus out there somewhere. No, I wasn't at all on board. Now,
I wasn't worried because Ryan's character did not seem. She seemed to retardedly believe that Moira was a much better person than she was.
Well, yeah.
So
she wasn't in the know apparently about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I say retardedly because, it was pretty clear that Moira was in on the whole bit with, very publicly in on the whole bit.
Yeah, she held a press conference.
So, yeah.
She has not been remembered well, probably, by most of the city.
By the way, have you thought about how far the show has gone? Because season 1, we were dealing with an earthquake machine.
Yeah.
An earthquake machine.
Big
bad of the season.
Several earthquake machines.
The big bad of the season was an earthquake machine.
Plural. That makes it better, probably.
And now we're dealing with magic. I'm just putting that out there.
No, I mean they've been really excited about that though. That's where they were going. That's where we knew they were going. We were getting into magic and mysticism, and hell, I've been on board the whole time. It sounded great.
Sure.
Now, something I already told you about this. My first worry. I had Laurel was a back and forth character for me this week because on the one hand I see Laurel advising against secrecy for Diggle and thinking, thank God she's finally got it. Maybe we can all those tropes will be out of her storylines. Great.
Nope.
And then she decides to take Thea to Nanda Parbat.
Yep.
Secretly.
All right. Yeah.
Where do you want to get started on that?
Oh man. Well, I don't know if she took acting classes or something, but Katie Cassidy's actually doing a pretty good job. First of all,
kind of agree. Whatever's changed, maybe it's us, maybe it's them. I don't know.
It's not us.
Leaving the option open, man. Yeah, she was a little better. I did like her character having some real agency this time. That there's some. She's making moves. She's making moves, and she's making them for her own damn good reasons, and that's a lot more fun than what they've been doing with her so far.
Yeah. Now, is it a poor decision?
Sure it is.
Yeah, sure. Most likely.
No,
she sees what's happening to Thea.
But her logic is basically, okay, I'm going to take a flyer on how I think I can fix Thea, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to double down essentially and bet that I can not only fix Thea, but fix an even worse Sarah with the same solution that I don't even know yet.
Yep.
Some chutzpah, sure, but...
Now, I give them props for actually showing Sarah's dead body. And it looked real. It looked real disturbing,
it looked great.
Too.
That corpse looked great. She's wrenching open the top, and I kind of thought, are they really about to show me a... And then, yeah, there she was. Shriveled and tiny and embalmed and all.
Mm-hmm.
Looked fantastic.
Kind of messed up.
And, man, can they dig a square hole. That was one well-dug grave they had plucked out for themselves.
Right. Well, I'm sure it was Speedy.
Yeah.
Laurel just pointed at it and said,
make that a square. And then feral fucking Thea goes after it. She's all like, that ground made fun of you. And she's like, what? And just, yeah.
Right.
That's the scene.
Oh, now, I was really excited for just a minute where Lance says, You say you're doing things differently now. Here's your chance to prove it. And then, of course, Speedy has to go and set somebody on fire.
Of course.
So,
and
I actually wrote down, shit, Lance still hates Ollie.
Yeah, that was another one. Like, Quentin did... he did the same kind of thing. He was back and forth with me. Early on in the episode, I'm thinking, yay, he's back on team. And, yeah, by the end of the episode, it was... We went nowhere. Nothing happened. Nothing changed.
Hopefully that will change when Sarah's resurrected and he's looking at Laurel going, what the hell is wrong with you?
Right.
No wonder Oliver can't do anything. He's got a bunch of crazy-ass people on his team.
Right.
His sister's setting people on fire. My daughter's resurrected.
Now, he doesn't know about the sister. He just thinks Oliver set that dude on fire. Mm-hmm. Which makes him kind of a poor police officer in a way. Because, like, you know the name of a guy that you think set some motherfucker on fire. Arrest him! Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Arrest him, dude!
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. I want there to be, like, a scene where Oliver and Lance just sit down and Oliver talks about all of the stuff and just goes over everything from day one to Lance. So Lance will just be like, well, you've made some shitty decisions, kid, but I gotta say, you're actually a pretty good guy.
But your heart was in the right place.
But you gotta get rid of all these people on your team.
Right.
They're awful.
You got that.
Hold on to Felicity.
Felicity's good. That's a good cat, that one. But my daughter, she's kind of bad at a lot of this, makes a lot of secret decisions that are weird. Diggle keeps telling you to lie to people. Thea's just going all kinds of crazy.
Diggle keeps telling you to lie to people.
Yeah. Oh, and now speaking of which, though, they back to the corpse. They're going to take the corpse back to Nanda Parbat.
Uh-huh.
Weren't we under the impression that Constantine was coming on to help Sarah be resurrected and to possibly shut down the Lazarus pit with his magicalism?
Okay, first of all, the idea that Constantine came to deal with the Lazarus pit still may happen, mm-hmm. and that was just conjecture. That was an idea that Stephen Amell had.
Sure.
That was never confirmed as being necessarily the end all be all of what was happening. I don't think. Now I might be wrong.
I don't. I mean, they haven't actually said. I'm pretty sure we don't have word from producers about what he's coming on to do. I think it was just that we've gotten so set in the idea that he's coming back for Sarah, that when I saw that mm-hmm. Sarah, I'm going to call her Sarah again now, I guess, because Corpse Sarah just seems redundant. But Sarah's heading across. I mean, she's going to be very far away from all. Like, I want Oliver and the titular characters should actually meet. That seems minimal.
Yeah.
I wanted him to come to Star City. I didn't want him to go to Nanda Parbat. So I panicked for a second, thinking that we might lose that interaction. But
I don't really mind. I think he will meet Stephen Amell or Arrow. I don't think that's going to be a problem.
No, I mean, if I'm guessing, it's going to be somewhere in the next 2 episodes. Sarah gets revived, and then I think it's 405 that Constantine's going to be in.
Well, the next episode coming up is called Restoration.
Oh, okay. So we got that. And then maybe like an adjustment/trip back episode. And then it's 405 that Constantine's in, right?
Yeah, it's 405 that Constantine's in. So, and 404 is called Beyond Redemption. And then 405 is Haunted.
Perfect. All right. So then we can get everyone back to town before he comes back on. Or before he comes in. Whatever.
Possibly. I don't know. And the destruction of the Lazarus pit was just our conjecture. That was never news.
No. That wasn't just our conjecture. That was we were one of many conjecting.
Oh, we may have been one of many conjecting.
That was a very popular theory online. I'm not. don't get me wrong. I'm not shying away from anything. Sometimes we guess right. Sometimes we guess wrong. And I'm wondering if. Yeah. Well, I had a moment of panic. Is what I'm getting to.
Hmm. So can we just talk about how much I hated the Felicity storyline?
Really?
Yes, I really hated it.
I didn't hate that at all.
It made no sense, first of all.
Talking about the firing thing, right?
Yeah. At the beginning she says that it's her first day back, or it's her first day as president of the company, mm-hmm. Proper, because apparently before that it was all just them having little hearings to see if she's even fit to be
right.
the president of the company.
Well, she was left it, but she's talking to the board of directors. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm almost sure that very roughly you have to actually prove that you're able to head a company like that has a board of directors. Right. I think the FCC gets involved, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Now that's fine, whatever. But like I don't know, 5-10 minutes later, she's identifying a substance on Anarky's fingerprints as from as being a certain kind of chemical that they had in a Queen paper mill that they had to shut down.
Right.
She said, "I shut down the paper mill last month."
Yeah, cost saving measure and all that. So that worried me.
But how
too.
did she do that if that was her first day?
It's her first day actively on the job. Was what I thought was happening. Her first day, at the company.
But if she already shut down a whole paper company that Queen owned, why is she so upset about firing people now?
Yeah, it's now the problem. Let me put it
also,
this way. I could try to get out of it, but I think I just completely agree is what it comes down to. First of all, yeah, did she already have enough power to do that? Maybe so, maybe not. Maybe she's just saying I in the royal sense that she is now the representative of the company, and the company set them down last month. Whatever. But two would be, maybe that's the difference. She can shut down a plant somewhere that she's never seen before, but firing a few dozen people face to face every day is an entirely different. That's hard. I hate firing people. It's happened. It's not fun.
Yeah, I've had to fire people too.
I mean,
sometimes it was hard.
Sometimes it's the most cathartic fucking thing you can do, but
yeah, sometimes a lot of fun. Sometimes with certain people.
But sure they've earned it in that case.
But God, it was not only the weird canon missteps. I don't understand exactly. They didn't really explain how all of those things
happened. I can maybe come up with enough gray area to give it a fighting chance, but I didn't like it either.
Yeah. But I also didn't like how heavy-handed the episode was in that regard. And I did not completely buy, because no board member is on, first of all, the first person she goes to fire, just doesn't have a realistic response at all.
Mm-hmm.
And just sat there and made almost a full halcyon kind of speech about how they all had hope when she came on board, but I guess they were wrong.
Oh, no. That's entirely, I bought that hook, line, and sinker.
I did not.
I was good with that. It's an office environment. It's a professional environment. It's not like, it's not a different kind of more blue-collar situation where you can just start cussing at the guy who fired you. No, you find more elevated ways to make that person feel terrible. And that was a pretty good way.
Well, sure.
I thought she did a fine job of turning that around.
But it was also completely clear that Felicity was just brokenhearted over the entire situation in the first place.
Hey, if I just got fired, I don't really care how you feel about it.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, I felt like it was more of some kind of statement. And the reality of it is sometimes you have to fire folk in a business. Sometimes you just do.
You do.
Sometimes you just do. It sucks, but you do. And I didn't buy Felicity's, the rabbit that she pulled out of her ass at the end of the episode.
No, I bought that. Here's the thing.
I didn't buy it because
it's not like
clear
they've
that
shown me
all...
Don't get me wrong. It's not like they've sat there. They haven't shown us a P&L for the company. We don't know who's actually right. If it's the more outspoken board member dude, or if she is. We don't know whether the company's actually solvent. I don't fucking know. But I'm willing to trust her that she should give it a shot. And they keep making it more the emotional part. This is not what Ray would have wanted. And they made it exactly what it would have been. What would Ray have done? Well, Ray would have come up with some weird-ass fucking invention that would have changed the world and employed all these people. Because he's Ray Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're going to carry it on in that vein. And I liked the trick just because she didn't really tell Kellum about it. She just throws it in there and kind of sneaks off with him. And
right. Now parts of it I did really enjoy. Felicity goes in there all surefire and, anti-corporate and goes, well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut out your bonuses. And they're like, we've been down that road. We have no bonuses. We have nothing.
And that's the thing. It was still ambiguous. They didn't say that. They just said we've been down that road. So I don't know if that just means, no, we discussed getting out our bonuses, but we didn't do that. I don't know if they did that or not. They didn't actually say.
Well, I think if the implication was that they had not done that, they would have explored that further. And she's like, well, we'll go down that road again. But I'm pretty sure they don't have I'm pretty sure they just gave up their bonuses and have cut their own salaries tremendously, and are still,
by the way,
floundering.
Not phrased correctly. Boards of director they get dividends, not bonuses.
Yeah, man. I'm just, I thought that sounded a little wonky myself, but I'm not a board of a director or on the board of directors anywhere, so I don't know. I mean, I'm not a board member anywhere. I don't know. Whatever. Certain instances
I think it actually might be a violation, and I really don't want to get a bonus. I'm not sure.
It probably is, but yeah. I liked that. She was kind of shot down on that idea because they'd already done it.
Yeah, but again, we don't know who's really right about the financials of the company. We don't,
because the only guy who was talking was the one dude that, like, Kellum Echo's character, or Mr. Terrific's character, like, seemed to have, like, I was using my algorithm to do this and to make more money for people, and he turned it around. I'm like, I'm not sure how that worked, but okay.
It made sense in a way. I suppose if you kind of listed everyone there who could be further incentivized, maybe it might accidentally end up creating a list that's pretty much
right.
Everyone that needs to go.
I just kept the one dude that kept talking to Felicity on the board. I just kept imagining for them to just magically come over from her shot to him, and he's just suddenly got, like, a curly mustache, and he's an oil baron.
Right,
like,
right.
It seemed like that type of, like, really heavy-handed, overdone thing. Like, oh, the big corporate guy is evil.
No, they painted him that way. Like, there's nothing around that.
They did. And, they were so against Felicity as the president anyway. Like, I really just didn't buy that they just like, okay, 6 months from now, this thing that was so impending that we had to talk about it on your first day, it can wait 6 months now.
Well, yeah, they were just promised,
because you have nothing.
They were just promised, a world-changing device, so they're going to have to buy it for a second and kind of roll with it.
Realistically, they should say, oh, well, okay, cool. So keep firing all those people, and in 6 months, if you have a big world-changing thing, maybe we can hire those people back.
No, not how it works sometimes. It's the got to spend it to make it thing. Got to have the staff if you want to pull it off. She argued exactly that. I have to have the people to make this happen. So I thought she pulled it off just fine. Here's what happened though. Is the whole exchange, her whole plot for this episode. I bought it immediately, and it was because she walked in and she was, funny little Felicity that we love so much, and they didn't laugh at her jokes, and I thought, you bastards, every one of you.
Yeah. Well, that was the trick, wasn't it?
And I'm fine with that.
That was on the nose, man.
That's fine. I understand completely what just happened, and I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know. There was something about it I just didn't care for. Like, several things I just didn't buy in that storyline. So we didn't get a whole lot of flashback this week. And
no. And the part we did get was kind of just a quick lead up. Nothing much happened. And was it supposed to be a huge reveal that he's on their team, that he's infiltrated their organization, and we knew that was going to happen. Yeah,
I don't know. I didn't really see it as I knew that was going to happen. I think the big reveal was that Oliver was such a dick, being in disguise, or he's just, that's not your concern. Keep working.
Right.
I mean, that was kind of fun. And I liked the way he talked to Baron Ryder. He was like, well, I don't know what you're doing. He's like, oh, well, lucky for you, because then I don't have to kill you.
Right.
Oh, okay, cool. Now, dude, I actually wrote down when he lands and the dude comes up and attacks him and goes, who are you? And he just stabs him. I was really hoping he'd be like, that's who I am.
Why?
I don't know. I just really wanted him to like stab him and go, that's who I am.
Line makes no sense.
I know it doesn't make any sense, but it's such an 80s movie retort, just to stab someone.
You just wanted to make the show bad for no good reason. That was your dream.
Well, the writers do it fair amount.
Well, every now and then. And
I don't know.
And we work to minimize those things.
And when he stabbed him, I think I said out loud, yeah, that's who the hell I am. So, I don't know what to tell you, man. I would never actually, it's one of those things where, like, I would never actually write it in a serious thing. Like, if I was writing a show like Arrow, I would never actually write that line and intend it to be used.
Right.
But if I were writing a comedy,
be all over it. Right.
I'd totally write that line, and then someone would be like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, that character would have to have, like, a you character standing next to him and go, that doesn't even make sense. What are you doing?
Yeah. Well, when, when you get to write the spiritual ancestor of, or descendant, of Airplane, you do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Until then, I would like Arrow to be, free of that, I suppose.
That makes sense.
Hey, and completely unrelated because we need to.
Right.
Even in feral form, Thea, interesting? Yes, no? Have they fixed her yet by making her crazy ass?
I'm going to go with a no.
All right. Do you care what's happening to her yet?
No. In fact, I think the only thing I've cared about with her is, one, that Oliver was a badass and telling her how she was wrong. Mm-hmm. And, I've only cared in as much as that she's just like, so you go feral and you become more bratty.
Probably not too far from what feral really means or intends. Yeah,
I guess, but God, she's just boring. She's just boring to me.
She is largely boring, and we're gonna have to get John Barrowman back.
The only time she's not boring is.
So do you wonder if she's gonna maybe stay in Nanda Parbat? Because it's crossed my mind that she stays and hangs out with him.
I hope not, and this is why. Like, yes, it would be the easy solution for the writers to, we don't know what to do with her, so we'll have her stay in Nanda Parbat. Okay. But I've really had a lot of fun watching her run around in the mask and everything. That's the most interesting she's been, is just running around being Speedy. So,
yeah, except she looks really awkward being Speedy.
I haven't noticed that. Like, I haven't noticed anything markedly egregious at all. At the very least, not even on not on the level of Laurel last season.
No, not on that level. But it has looked weird from time to time.
It's looked weird to me because they're purposefully showing her getting off on killing folk or getting close to killing folk. So if they kind of just had her running around doing the things she was supposed to do,
right,
I'd be fine with her. And I don't know. I could lose her. I wouldn't cry for it.
You want and the part that's boring me the most is we're doing like Roy Part 2 or just she's just recapping Speedy. It's Speedy again. It's back to the Speedy. Mm-hmm. Like, we're doing the same fucking story with the same character named the same thing.
Well, to be fair, Roy was only called Speedy in one episode where apparently someone on the writer's staff forgot he wasn't called Speedy ever because Thea was always called Speedy.
I understand. But it's still out there, and the person with the red hood is going crazy again. We're doing the same fucking story. Bring me something different, people.
Mm-hmm. I feel you. Yeah. We knew there was going to be repercussions from her being in the Lazarus pit. They pretty much just, the outright said it. So
did we not? Are we not on record at this point as saying, God, I hope they don't just redo exactly what they did with Roy Harper?
Yeah.
So. You're listening to it, folks. You're listening to our nightmares come true.
Well, okay. I don't think they're doing it beat for beat or anything. And Roy was literally blacking out and going and doing crazy shit.
Okay, yeah. I'm generalizing a little, sure, but it's just
Thea's. Yeah, I don't think it's the same.
No,
and we're not having a situation where
thematically the same though. I think.
Well, we're not having a scene where like Thea's like waking up topless on a table, like rubbing her arms and going, "What am I becoming?"
No, but we're not far.
Actually, that might make the show better.
It would make it laughable.
Yes, as it did in season 2.
It did.
When Roy did it.
It was okay. I think I've already expressed that, I suppose. I'm just bored with it, and I'd really like them to do something different.
Well, hopefully they will.
No, they're doing this one quicker, so
yeah. Best case scenario, they just go ahead and fix Speedy or kill her or whatever the hell they have to do.
Whatever you're doing with her, just get her into some other device quickly.
Yeah, I don't want to keep saying this.
I don't know. So no Tombstone clues though.
No Tombstone clues.
Nada. Nunca.
And I would have been I think every episode should end on a stinger that's set 6 months in the future.
Right. Although something that has to occur to you is the writers apparently are very fond of, like, when you're in doubt of how to end the episode, show a cemetery. Do something in a cemetery.
Have they said that?
No, but we got 2 episodes in a row that end with a grave It's a tombstone and a grave.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it did end on a grave. Well, I mean,
not for nothing, but it was, it's going to the same thing twice, and that was kind of, it stood out enough that I noticed. Not necessarily against it. I mean, that shot of Sarah was really fucking cool, man. I couldn't believe they were really going to show me Sarah's corpse, but damn it, they showed me Sarah's corpse. And good job on the prop people, by the way. She looked great.
Yeah, that was on point, man. All right, so we have anything else? Any hopes, any fears that we haven't already discussed?
No. Another brief fear is going into there's no flash forwards. I'm worried that it was just episode 1, and then we're not going to see that again until like episode 7 thing.
Right.
I'm a little worried they're just going to leave that hanging around. I don't know exactly what the solution is. I mean, depends on what they're planning on doing with that grave, but...
By the way, I just, I want to point out, and this has nothing to do with anything, I just want to point out that one of the writers on the show is named Speedweed.
Speedweed?
Yep.
Spell that for me, please.
S-P-E-E-D. Mm-hmm. That's the first name. Second, the last name is W-E-E-D. It's exactly what it sounds like, man.
I would like to congratulate him, and I forgot the name of the guy that's playing Vandal Savage, who also
Casper
has an
Crumb.
award. Casper Crumb, thank you. I would like to congratulate him, along with Casper Crumb, for having an awesome name. Mm-hmm. It's not something everyone has.
I want to see Speedweed show up as a villain on The Flash.
Hell yes, I do.
As played by Alan Tudyk.
His superpower is that he can drain your speed. Not for any real purpose. No real plan.
All right. Oh, I think we are going to call it on this episode of DC On Screen.
Believe so. Now, by the way, you're Mr. Terrific in general. We didn't really talk about him, but he's looking pretty good for the show, right?
He is looking pretty good for the show. I'm enjoying him so far. And we did talk about discussing this because we were proud that even though they made a big deal of it.
Yeah, I meant to.
They made a big deal of it. They made a big deal of it when they announced his character. That it was like the first thing they used to qualify the character. He's gay,
right.
And then they didn't.
And they were
make
really
such
kind
a
of
big deal
proud
of
of
it
themselves for it in a way, like that. It seemed kind of
circle jerk,
way
pat
too
myself
on
on
the
the back
nose.
type of yeah.
But going into the episode, or going into like him coming out within the context of the series, it's just part of who he is. Moved right on. Hell yeah, guys.
I mean, the only real concern I have in regards to it is like when he realized that he was on that list to be fired, he was like, "Well, my husband's been wanting to go on a trip and blah 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 blah."
Right.
And then Felicity gets his job back. So like, I kind of
gets his job back and tells him he has to come up with a life-changing invention, and that poor guy's not going to get that trip for a while.
Yeah, no. Like, I kind of want to know what that conversation was like at home. Like, hey, well, I'm fired. What? But we can go on that vacation. Oh, you're right. That's really good. Yeah, we're just going to spend some us time, and we're going to go around and travel and stuff. And then, oh, wait. I just got a call from my boss. I'm not fired, and also I've got to come up with a life-changing, world-bending
He's asking,
invention.
like, is there any chance that life-changing device is on an Italian villa? No, I'm sorry, it's not. Is there any chance it's in Cancun? It is not. I'm sorry. Oh,
yeah. So I'm just a little worried about his marriage now.
That concern aside, and it is a real one. I don't know if they've cast anyone to be his partner, so I doubt we'll really get a. I don't know if you're going to get a resolution to how his husband feels about that.
Oh man, I just had a terrible idea.
Oh God, what?
They introduce his husband.
Uh-huh.
His husband gets killed. His husband is in the grave. They do a similar thing on The Flash. That way Mr. Terrific and the captain on The Flash can get together and have like a whole operation with metahumans and Joe.
God.
Fan wank.
Just no.
Yeah,
no,
that's bad.
And they can't
I
kill
said
him
it was a
that quick.
terrible idea.
I know. I'm just agreeing. I'm not trying to rub it in. And on top of that,
it hurts.
You're killing off characters at a record pace in some cases. People are dying so quickly in Star City, you can't even get a mayor to run.
I hope everyone we have conjectured as being in that grave is in the grave. Like all of them.
They're also in there with a cesium atom and a pile of food, and we don't know if they're
just piled on top of each other. No rhyme or reason. Basically, I want season 5 of Arrow to look like this. Oliver is wandering along a road with a backpack, It's just become Kung Fu, Legend of Arrow.
Amazing. That's just amazing. You're going to make him the damn Highlander by the time you're done.
Oh, man, I totally would.
All right, let's end this before you ruin the fucking show.
Red Arrow, Green Arrow. No, there can be only one.
Right. That's pretty much how Thea feels about it right now.
And then every once in a while, as he's walking slowly and silently along the road, Barry just runs by laughing at him.
Right.
No, that's not. None of that is actually what I would do with the show, but it's fun to talk about. Anyway.
It's what you would do with the show you wanted to torture.
Yeah. Like, if I hated the show, that's what I would do with it.
And to reiterate, because there are people that think we do, we don't hate that show.
We don't. We just want it to be better than it did. We want it to be. We want it to be as good as it can be.
That's all. That's really all. It's love-hate is what it is.
I suppose. It's sort of, it's sort of how, like, when you have a friend who isn't really who's just doing nothing with their life, but, you know that they have potential. Mm-hmm. We have experience with that.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know you were going to talk about me so intimately on the show, but okay.
Oh, I thought I was talking about myself.
You're using the old, I have a friend mechanism.
Yeah. So, we can save this. We can just say we're talking about Brandon. No, don't send him the link to this episode.
Right. Sorry, Brandon.
No. But yeah, everybody knows that, person who's like just, pretty talented, but just doesn't really ever go anywhere. That's how we feel about Arrow. It's just like, come on, man. You're a show about Green Arrow. You can do better than you're doing.
Right.
Please.
For instance, you can have him run for mayor. Oh, wait. Good job.
Right. Yeah, you can fall back on something they did in the 60s in the Adam West TV series.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
I got no hate, buddy. Anyway, kill it before we come up with more terrible ideas.
Maybe I do hate the show. Anyway, so I'm kidding. We're going to end this. We are DC On Screen. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on Stitcher and every episode on DCOnScreen.com. If you'd like a similar podcast about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, go listen to our friends Matt Carroll and Jeff Randall at the Marvel Cinematic Universe Podcast or MCUcast.com. We are proud members of the Giant Size Team Up Network. I don't think I said that the last couple episodes.
But we are.
But we are, totally. And, God, we'll see you guys next week when we'll be talking about Episode 3, Restoration, and a number of other things like Gotham and The Flash. Mm-hmm. And so, until then,
bunch of news,
DC. Too. Yeah, a bunch of news coming up probably Tuesday. That'll probably drop. So, God, yeah, until then, keep some DC on y'all screen.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Are you struggling to lose weight and keep it off? Tired of wasting time and money on starvation diets that lead to more frustration and stress? If there was a weight loss solution that could actually work for you, would you try it? Then head to Golo.com.
I'm Steve. I lost 138 pounds in 9 months on Golo.
I'm Amber. I've lost 128 pounds with Golo.
If you're ready to take back control of your life, head to Golo.com now and see how Golo can work for you. That's Golo.com.
My sleep is way better. My inflammation has gone way down. Golo saved my life. I was way overweight. That's what sent me down the path. I wanted to make sure and live for my kid.
I have literally tried everything. I was on the verge of getting gastric bypass surgery, and I saw the Golo commercial, and it was the last thing I tried because it worked.
Join over 2 million people who found a better way to lose weight with Golo. Your healthier and happier life begins at Golo.com. That's Golo.com. Again, Golo.com.